Okay, sorry. Okay, array is the collection of a similar data types. Okay, if we declared any array, if we initialized any array, based on the data type, all the elements inside the specific array of the same data type. It is like if you mention like an integer, and each and every element inside an array will be integer. If you mention a float over there, each and every element inside an array will be float. Okay. Just I will show you the example. Yeah, this is the constructors last class we discussed about. So please share the screen. Yeah, I'm sharing it. Wait. So yeah, this is the last one we discussed about the constructor overloading and the method overloading. I don't want to delete this because after the completion of the first unit, I'm going to share everything with you. What are all the things we discussed right now? So everything will be inside a document so that you will understand very easily each and every topic. Okay. So don't bother about these things. Okay. I'm going to save it and I'm going to create one more thing. New file. Why I need a file? It's not like that. I need a class, right? See, every time I'm going for the class files, I need to go over here. It's a Java class. Okay, we are discussing about RS demo. Okay, now common thing, public static void. Okay, sorry, need to be capital letter. The string should be a capital letter. Remember this one. This is also one of the single dimensional array. Okay, I will explain this one also. This is like a command line arguments. Like for the testing purpose, I mean, at the time of a testing purpose, we need to pass values. So by using this main method arguments, we are going to pass the values. I will inside the single dimensional array, because this is a single dimensional array. So we are going to discuss the command line arguments also inside this topic. Okay, whether it is in your syllabus or not, but you have to know about this one because this is a single dimensional array. Okay, so and the name of an array is args. Okay, inside is this block, I'm going to declare, this is the declaration of array. How you're going to declare a single dimensional array, which is about a single. Okay, so there are two types of arrays. I mean, arrays are available. One is a single dimensional and another one is a multi-dimensional. Don't you think like there are two dimensional, three dimensional, four dimensional, and nth dimensional is there? All these are inside a multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, from one onwards, not one, excluding one, we are going to consider 2, 3, 4, 5, and nth. Each and everything are a multi-dimensional array other than single dimensional array. Single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Only two types of arrays are available. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the single dimensional array. Okay. So how you are going to declare a single dimensional array? So what is the syntax for that? So initially, what is the data type? This is not a keyboard, just I'm typing the syntax. What is the data type? Whether it is a primitive data type, whether it is an integer, float, there are 8 primitive data types are available. It may be anything. Okay. And after that, you need to make a brace over here. So this is the brace like this. Okay. And after that, you need to mention the name of an array. What is the name of an array? Just I'm mentioning like array. This is the name of an array. This is user defined. You can take it on your own. Okay. First is the data type, and this is the array and the name of an array, and there is a semicolon. There is a semicolon. This is all about the declaration of a single dimensional array. Okay. Here we came to know that the name, we know that, and the data type. I'm going to take an integer right now. So according to our programmatic point of view, okay. So I declared an integer. This is how you're going to declare. This is a declaration of a single dimensional array. Okay. How you are going to initialize that? There are two ways to initialize that. Directly you can write it over here, or you can take over here like a r r a y is equal to. There are two ways. I'm going to show you those two things. Okay. First of all, directly I'm going to initialize the values. How you are going to initialize the values? There is a very big drawback inside an array. Again, I'm telling you, there is a big drawback inside an array. We need to mention the size of an array at the time of a declaration. Again, I'm telling you, we need to mention the size of an array at the time of a declaration. Okay, they made like that. So we have to follow that. So this is the main drawback inside. So dynamically, we can vary the size of an array, but what they mentioned, if you are going to declare any array, it is essential that you have to mention the size, whether how many elements does it consisting of. Okay, now I'm going to make an assignment operator and new keyword. Now we are going to discuss about the new. In the sense of an arrays, the compiler will treat an arrays as an object. Again, I'm telling you, there are so many objects are available. If you want to access anything, we have to create an object for the class name, and then we are going to access it if it is not a static. But in the sense of an arrays, compiler will treat arrays as an objects, so that when you use the new keyword over here, it will be created inside heap area by JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Please remember this one, very, very important concept over here. So there is a question like, is array is object or not? Yes, it is an object, because a compiler will choose that as an object and it creates memory inside a heap area. So inside a heap area, Java Virtual Machine creates a memory for the arrays. You remember that one. It is also one of the object. So this is the reference for the, just I want to tell you this one. How to create an object for the class? Just making the name of arrays demo, arrays demo, and I'm taking as small a and a d. Arrays demo is equals to new arrays, arrays demo. So this is how we create an object for the class. If is there any like a method available like void, yeah, this is the method available, and outside this is the method calling. It's not available, right? So outside this, I'm going to take a void public, not a public test, and this is a method. So if you want to access this, if this is not a static, then it throws an error like non-static methods cannot be accessed or referenced. So for this, we need this one. So it is not possible without this. If you want to access this, then use the reference of the class object. What is the class object? AD is the class object. You want to access this method without a static dot test. So this is how you are going to access. There are two ways. If it is like a static method, directly we can access a test method. Without static, we need to use the reference of the class name. We have to use the reference of an object. So similar thing here. Yes, I want to delete this one. Yeah. So this is also one of the object according to the compiler. So how you are going to create that? So after creating a new, and there is an int. So see this one. I didn't mention the size over here. We need to mention the size over here. But what it is saying, array initializer is expected. If you didn't mention any size, like 3 or a 4 or a 5 number of elements that the array consisting of. So now the error has been gone. So here I just deleted this. Then what is it is expecting? Mention a size or else mention the elements. So what it is expecting? Mention the size like 4. or else you need to initialize it. How you are going to initialize it? Inside a braces, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are all the elements you want? Just keep it over there. Whether you need to mention the size or else you need to initialize it. 5. Okay, now you got the point. Actually, this is a very important thing you need to understand. Either mention a size or initialize it. The compiler will expect this one. Okay, I just initialized it. Okay, this is all about the declaration and initialization of a single dimensional array. Okay, excuse me 1 second. Yeah, sorry. Okay, now we are going to access an array. ACCSSING, sorry. Accessing an array, a single. Okay, so how you are going to access it? There are 2 ways. I already explained in the previous sessions about a for loop and for each loop. Even with the while loop also we can access that, but now we are not going to access it. Mainly we are going to access it with for loop and for each loop. So again, I'm going to tell you, please remember this one. Using for loop, I'm not going to use a my enhanced for loop right now. What is the for loop syntax? Initially we need for. What is the for here? The keyword. Inside this we need one increment. Sorry, the initialization. This is the initialization because an array starts with indices 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So overall the length of an array is a 5. So here we initialize it. Now we have to check the condition of it. What is the condition of it? Array dot length. So we need to increase from 0 to 4. 0 to 4 in the sense the length is a 5, right? Here the length is a 5. From 0 to 4 will consider for the condition. Now there is an increment or a decrement operator. Okay. Okay. If you want to access a single element, okay, it is okay. Then I'm going to take it as a of, sorry, the name of an array is a or ay. Inside this, I'm having an I. So we can get each and every value from an array. So let me run this program. So according to the information point of view, I'm mentioning like a tab. Yep, and this should be like, there is no println because it should be in the same line. This is all about. Okay, now it is good. Yeah, just I'm running the program, check it out. See this one, how easy is this? Already explained this one, again I'm explaining this. So this is all about accessing an array, a single dimensional array. Okay, now we are going to use, just copying this for saving some time. Okay. Okay, here I'm going to use for each loop. How you are going to for each loop? So this is all about a for each loop. Okay, so initially we have to take in and then we need to assign a variable. And again, I'm telling you here only one value will be considered at a time. For each and every iteration, only one value will be considered. Similar to this, if you want to print each and every element inside an array, then this is the best way. If you want to print a single element inside an array, this is the best way. Okay, you can access directly like by giving the index of it like 1. You can directly get it. No one will ask you about this one. Okay. You can directly access the index of it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to run this. No. Yes, I want to take this one. The programming should be in a coding standards, or else even if you got a job, they will give you a notice. So coding standard is also important. So you need to mention there is a space, and after that there is a tab. So according to the functional point of view. Okay. Okay, done. So this is all about a declaration of an array. What is the syntax for declaration of array? There is a data type and there is a single dimension, a brace, and the name of a variable. It is which is the user defined. It's on your own. Okay. How to instantiate an array? By using a new keyword. When you used a new keyword inside a heap area, the JVM will create a reference over there. Okay. So by using that, so new is for creating an object. So array is also considered as an object. How you are going to initialize that? Inside a braces, you need to give the names of it. Do not forget, like, see this one. Here it is okay, but you need to mention a space like this. After the comma, there should be one space. Remember this one also. So either it should be like giving the size of an array, or you need to initialize it. Either this or this. Initialize it or else mention an array. So I will tell you about giving the values dynamically. Actually, in your syllabus, it is like somewhat different. Why they did like this? I am unable to understand. Wait.
Sir, voice break out.
Yeah, one second. One second. I'm showing it to you. So this is the syllabus. What they mentioned, just see this one. Overloading. They didn't mention about method overloading and the constructor overloading. I explained both of them. Okay, method is okay. And even looping also. Looping, actually we are having a for loop for each loop, while and do while. So many things are there, but they didn't mention it. Arrays. Are they expecting like a single dimensional? I mean, single dimensional is okay. And a 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional is also available. Even what they didn't mention it clearly. What should I need to explain? That is a thing daily I'm searching for you. I mean, it's okay. Again, I'm going to teach you single and 3-dimensionals are very important things. If they ask you about write about arrays, then what I'm explaining to you like single dimensional, multi-dimensional, you need to write about that. And single dimensional in the sense like a declaration, instantiation, and initialization, and how to access that. So each and everything you need to write that one inside, like what I explained inside my program. They didn't mention any dynamic arrays like this by using a scanner. Okay, sir, if I want, you can ask like, sir, if I want to give the size of an array dynamically at the time of a runtime, what you need to do that? So yeah, see this one. So every time do I need to mention like this? Why can't I give it directly at the time of a runtime? So there is a class available inside a util package, which is called a scanner, So just don't want to delete this. Yes, I'm going to create one more class. So we'll try to give you okay, maximum number of examples. If you go for maximum number of examples, you can't even forget each and everything, because like this, see, every time I'm doing this and doing this and explaining each and everything. Okay, even the same way you need to learn it. I'm not going to read this after your class and I'm going to explain it later. It is not like that. On my own, I will directly come over here and explain it to you, because if there is any errors, you came to know that there is an error. So in this way, if we go in this way, there will be an error. So how you are going to sort it out? So you have to learn in that way. Okay, this is all about the programming language. Inside that, inside organization, you are not going to learn something and there will be the same thing available inside the project. Don't you think in that way? You have to go there and go for the functionality and check it out and write it over there. If there is any error occurred, you need to sort it out. This is all about the programmer's point of view. Okay, so here directly I'm coming over here and just explaining. There is any error occurred, I'm going to sort it out so that you came to know that there is an error if you don't do this. Who will tell you like if we remove this, it throws an error because either this or that. No textbook will tell you about that. There is nothing. Yeah, there is nothing actually. In no textbook there will be like this. Okay, they will do like this, but either this or that, they won't tell you that. Okay, this is the initialization and this is the mentioning the size. They will tell in that way. Okay, so on your own you will learn so much. If you go through somewhat different books and all, maybe you will find it out. Okay, so now we are going for accessing arrays dynamically. Okay, I'm mentioning as a dynamic arrays. Yep. So see this one. So inside a dynamic arrays instance, somewhat different. Sometimes maybe array size will be increased. That was a different scenario. I'm not telling you that, but at the runtime, I'm going to give you how to change the size of an array by using a keyboard. Because when I am going to initialize this, sorry, wait a second. Just this is a normal thing. We have to do this first of all. Yeah. So I just going for int of a single dimensional array, ARR is equals to new. I mentioned like this. Okay, need to mention the size. But sir, at the time of a runtime, I have to pass a 10 elements or a 20 elements. Okay. I mentioned 20 over here. Okay, some other end user came. Yeah, WhatsApp. So inside of WhatsApp, the text size should be according to the user. If he wants to type more than 100 lines, it is according to him. We need to mention the size dynamically. This is all about the size. We should not mention like this. I'm placing n over here. I'm placing an n over here. Like there is a class like int. Sorry, I'm going to initialize. Sorry, declaring the n value. So because it throws an error. Okay. Okay. So here I'm going to take a class name called SCANNER, a scanner. Take the variable name as an input and is equals to new. See this one. At the time of system.out.println, remember these words. This is a system.out that we are going to give you output. So when you are going to give an input, it is essential to mention like a system.in inside the braces. So what it will consider, he is or a person, the user is going to give input from the keyboard. Basis on this only, the scanner will identify there is an input from the keyboard. Okay, I'm going to remove this. What it is expecting cannot resolve the constructor, because everything we mentioned, we consider it as a constructor. Because if we are going to make anything like this, dynamic arrays, and so this is a constructor, right? The similar thing inside a scanner class also, somebody built that, the Java people. So this is also a constructor. It is expecting something else. That's why it is showing an error. So just me remove this one. I don't want this. Yeah. So inside this, okay. So this is for the output and this is for the input. Just remember this one. Okay. So now, what is the use of a scanner? Scanner consisting of so many methods, very useful for you. Okay. So inside this, I'm going to take int, just remove this one. I'm going to initialize it over here. Okay. So now I'm going to take the value because we need to mention the size dynamically. Okay. Now I'm going to take n is equals to what I need to place over here. So we are having this is an integer. So that's why directly the tool itself, it is saying like input dot next int, input dot next int. We have to take this reference, and inside this we are having a next int that will allow directly to n by the keyboard inputs. If it is a float, then it will expect a, it will expect a float only. Okay. See like this. Okay. So this is how we are going to do the values and all. Okay. This is the int. That's why it is expecting an int. That is showing an error. That doesn't matter. I'm going to change this one. Okay. Dot next int. Yeah. So now we are going to assign a value at the time of a runtime directly. There is no need to mention the size over here directly. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to get the values of offer. Int I is equal to 0, I less than or dot length, and then semicolon, there is an increment or decrement operator. So here we don't know the length. After giving the value only, we came know the length of it. Okay. Now what I need to do over here, enter values. I'm going to take it as system.println enter array elements. Okay. Here I'm mentioning like, just copy it. This is all about the dynamic. Okay. Enter size of array. Okay. So here we will get a size. Doesn't matter. Okay. So inside it, what we need to do? So we need to take the value and should be initialized like so. Or I is equals to input dot next int. So every time when the index came over here it will be a 0, and then we are going to give the value at the runtime. Again, I'm telling you, it is also at the runtime. This is also at the runtime. Contents array or return to, but never use. Yeah, I'm going to use that. So see this one. If you didn't use this, also it is saying like to. Okay, it's okay. So we are going to give the values at the runtime. Okay. Now after we did everything, we need to print the values. Paste it. Okay, I'm going to print the values. Assign it this one. Okay, paste it. Your values are okay. Now I'm going to remove this. System.out.println and ARR of I. Okay, everything is okay. I will take it as a for each loop. Looks good. Okay, yeah, cool. So everything is done. I'm going to explain it again and again. See this one. Just this is a scanner class consisting of a system.in which allows us to give user inputs. How you're going to assign a value for this at the runtime? Input dot next int. If it is like an integer, we have to mention like integer only. Okay, how you're going to assign this to the sense of an arrays at the time of a runtime? Directly by giving it to the index values. Okay, by giving it to the index values. Okay, just let me run this program. I think close it as soon as possible. Okay, why it is not showing anything? Actually, I need to mention it before it, but I mentioned over here. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. See this one. Let me show you this. Okay, I'm going to change this one. Cut. Again, I'm going to run this. So here I'm going to take a value as a 4. So enter array elements like 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So these are the values you have given. So this is all about at the time of a runtime. Okay. So this is how we do. At the time of runtime, you can directly give the size of an array like this. So please practice it at your home. Very easy concept. If you learn it, then it will be very easy. If you make it as somewhat different, then you will get confused. So okay, for loops are very important. So accessing an arrays. Okay. Actually, 10 minutes left, I think. So 1 hour is somewhat different. Okay, it's okay. Yeah. So here again, I'm going to explain it. I think you got a good idea about this. There is a scanner, a class, how you are going to give the values at the time of runtime. So at the time of runtime, I want to change my size of an array. Like what are all the size, what are all the elements I'm going to give that I don't know. Somewhat user, they don't know. So that they need to give it as an option. Like I need such size. I need this much size. Dynamically, you can give it directly at the time of runtime. And after that, you can directly assign the values at the time of runtime also. Okay. And then this is a printing. You already know this one. So this is how. Please practice it. Or don't you mind? Like today, I'm going to end the topic early because 10 minutes left, right? Okay. Never mind. Okay. Where is CR? CR. Uh, can you send the attendance, please? Okay.